Welcome to the fourth lesson of Module 3 of our cybersecurity course. This course is presented to you by TCSC London Academy and the instructor Mr. Isam Ifarujain. In this lesson, we will discuss cybersecurity risk mitigation strategies. Risk mitigation strategies are measures that companies opt for in order to mitigate a cyber risk. First mitigation strategy we will discuss is Strong Authentication. Strong Authentication, also known as Multi-Factor Authentication, MFA, or Two-Factor Authentication, 2FA, is a cybersecurity method that enhances the security of user accounts by requiring the presentation of two or more separate and distinct authentication factors before granting access. It adds an extra layer of protection beyond traditional username and password combinations, making it significantly more challenging for unauthorized individuals to gain access to sensitive systems, applications, and data. Key components of strong authentication. Authentication factors. Authentication factors are categorized into three main types. Something you know. This is typically a password or PIN. Something you have. This involves a physical token, such as a smart card, security key, or mobile device. Something you are. This refers to biometric characteristics like fingerprints, retinal scans, or facial recognition. Two-factor authentication, 2FA. 2FA requires the presentation of two different authentication factors. This is a subset of MFA. Multi-factor authentication, MFA. MFA combines two or more authentication factors to provide a higher level of security. For example, a combination of a password, a mobile app-generated code, and a fingerprint scan. Some of the main advantages of strong authentication include mitigated credential theft. Even if one authentication factor is compromised, for instance, a password, unauthorized access is still blocked without the additional factor. Enhanced security. Strong authentication significantly reduces the risk of unauthorized access and data breaches. User identity assurance. Organizations gain higher confidence in the identities of users accessing their systems. Compliance. Many regulatory frameworks require the implementation of strong authentication to protect sensitive data. Challenges of strong authentication. Usability and user experience. Balancing security with user convenience can be challenging, as more authentication steps may lead to user frustration. Implementation complexity. Deploying and managing strong authentication solutions may require additional infrastructure and training. Backup and recovery. In cases where a user loses their authentication device, a secure backup and recovery process is needed. Best practices for strong authentication. Use multi-factor authentication, MFA. Implement MFA wherever possible to ensure multiple layers of protection. Leverage biometrics. Biometric authentication provides a high level of security and user convenience, but ensure data privacy and protection. Regularly review and update policies. Stay up to date with evolving authentication technologies and adjust policies accordingly. Educate users. Provide clear instructions to users on how to set up and use strong authentication methods effectively. Second mitigation strategy is regular backups. Regular backups are a fundamental cybersecurity practice that involves creating and maintaining copies of critical data, files, and systems at scheduled intervals. These backups serve as a safeguard against data loss, system failures, hardware malfunctions, cyber attacks, and other unexpected incidents that could compromise an organization's information and operations. By regularly backing up data, organizations can ensure data recovery and business continuity in the face of potential disruptions. Importance of regular backups. Data recovery. In the event of data corruption, accidental deletion, hardware failure, or cyber attacks such as ransomware, having up-to-date backups ensures that data can be restored to its previous state. Business continuity. Regular backups are a crucial component of a business continuity plan, enabling organizations to resume operations quickly after a disruptive event. Protection against cyber attacks. Backups can mitigate the impact of ransomware attacks by providing an alternative to paying ransom and allowing data to be restored without funding cybercriminals. Data integrity and compliance. Backups help maintain the integrity of data and ensure compliance with data retention and protection regulations. Version control. Regular backups allow organizations to maintain multiple versions of files and data, facilitating rollbacks to earlier versions if needed. Key considerations for regular backups. Frequency of backups. The frequency of backups depends on the criticality of the data and the rate at which it changes. High-frequency backups may be needed for constantly evolving data, while less frequent backups can suffice for more static data. Off-site storage. Backups should be stored in an off-site location to protect against physical disasters like fires or floods that could affect the primary data center. Data encryption. Encrypting backup data ensures that even if backups are compromised, the data remains secure. Testing and validation. Regularly test backups by restoring data to ensure that the backup process is functioning correctly and data can be recovered effectively. Some of backup types include full backups. A complete copy of all data is created during a full backup. This method offers fast recovery but consumes more storage space and time. Incremental backups. Only changes made since the last backup are saved during an incremental backup. While efficient in terms of storage, recovery might require piecing together multiple backups. Differential backups. Differential backups capture changes made since the last full backup. They strike a balance between backup size and recovery time. Third mitigation strategy is security patches and updates. Security patches and updates are critical elements of maintaining a strong cybersecurity posture for both individual users and organizations. They involve the process of applying fixes, enhancements, and updates to software, operating systems, applications, and devices to address vulnerabilities, improve functionality, and protect against emerging threats. Regularly applying patches and updates is an essential practice to prevent cyber attacks and maintain the integrity of digital systems. Importance of security patches and updates. Vulnerability mitigation. Security patches are designed to address known vulnerabilities in software. Applying patches promptly reduces the risk of exploitation by cybercriminals. Protection against exploits. Many cyber attacks target known vulnerabilities. Regular updates help prevent attackers from exploiting these vulnerabilities to gain unauthorized access or compromise systems. Software performance. Updates often include performance enhancements, bug fixes, and new features that improve the overall functionality and stability of software. Compliance and regulations. Compliance standards and regulations often mandate the timely application of security patches to protect sensitive data and meet industry standards. Key considerations for security patches and updates. Patch management plan. Organizations should establish a patch management plan that outlines roles, responsibilities, processes, and timelines for applying patches. Prioritization. Not all vulnerabilities have the same level of risk. Prioritize patching based on criticality and potential impact. Testing. Before deploying patches, it's essential to test them in a controlled environment to ensure they don't negatively impact existing systems. Automated updates. Automated updates and patching tools can help streamline the process and ensure timely application of patches. Challenges of security patches and updates. Compatibility issues. Patches might not be compatible with certain software versions, leading to operational disruptions. Downtime. Applying patches may require system downtime, impacting business operations. Effective scheduling is crucial. Resource allocation. Organizations need dedicated resources to monitor, test, and apply patches regularly. Best practices for security patches and updates. Regular monitoring. Stay informed about software vulnerabilities and updates by subscribing to vendor notifications and security advisories. Timely application. Apply security patches as soon as they become available to reduce the window of vulnerability. Segmentation. Isolate critical systems from non-critical ones to minimize the potential impact of patching. The fourth and last mitigation strategy we will cover in this lesson is employee training. Employee training is a cornerstone of effective cybersecurity practices within organizations. It involves educating staff members about cybersecurity threats, best practices, and proper protocols to prevent data breaches, cyber attacks, and other security risks. Comprehensive training programs help create a security-aware workforce that actively contributes to protecting the organization's sensitive information and digital assets. Importance of employee training. Human element in cybersecurity. Employees are often the first line of defense against cyber threats. Training empowers them to recognize and respond to potential risks. Mitigating insider threats. Proper training can reduce the likelihood of unintentional security breaches caused by employees who inadvertently expose sensitive information. Data protection and privacy. Employees learn how to handle and protect sensitive data, ensuring compliance with data protection regulations. Consistent security culture. Training fosters a culture of cybersecurity awareness and accountability across the organization. Basic cybersecurity awareness. Employees should understand common threats, phishing, social engineering, and how to identify suspicious activities. Safe browsing and email practices. Training should cover safe browsing habits, avoiding clicking on suspicious links, and recognizing phishing emails. Password security. Employees learn about strong password creation, multi-factor authentication, and the importance of not sharing passwords. Social engineering awareness. Training addresses tactics used by cybercriminals to manipulate individuals into divulging sensitive information. Challenges related to employee training. Lack of awareness. Employees may not understand the significance of cybersecurity threats, leading to complacency. Changing threat landscape. Cyber threats evolve rapidly. Keeping training up to date is crucial to address new risks. Resistance to change. Employees might resist adopting new security practices due to convenience or familiarity with old methods. Best practices for employee training. Regular and ongoing training. Cybersecurity training should be ongoing to reinforce knowledge and adapt to changing threats. Tailored content. Training should be customized to address the specific roles and responsibilities of different departments. Real-world scenarios. Using real-world examples and simulations helps employees understand how cyber threats manifest in practice. Engagement and participation. Interactive training methods, such as workshops and quizzes, encourage active engagement and learning. In this lesson we've covered the following elements. Strong authentication. Regular backups. Security patches and updates. And employee training. All of them are an example of mitigation strategies, also known as safeguards, that companies can adopt to avoid or reduce the impact of a cyber risk. In the next module, we will learn more about cybersecurity strategies. Stay with us to learn more. See you there.